The Ultra. The Ultra has had a journey. It started off with the S20 Ultra. It had the big numbers to attract the eyes, but it didn't offer a smooth enough experience to please them. It was too big, too ugly. And then came the Note 20 Ultra. It had the big numbers, it had the attention, it had great looks, but it was too boxy, too big, and the Exynos version lagged a lot when you compare it to the Snapdragon version. And now it's back with the S21 Ultra. It's looking to clear its name. It's looking to offer a great experience, great numbers. And today I'm here to clear one question. Does it? Let's find out. So the Ultra has had a tradition. It goes big with everything. And as responsibilities come with the name, the S21 Ultra goes big. The display is big, the camera bump is big with 4 lenses, and the battery is big. And so is the RAM. All of these big features come packed in this tall, narrow slab of glass and stainless steel. The phone impressively sits easy in your hand. The chassis is just the right amount of thick enough to give you something to hold on to, unlike the Note 20 Ultra. The glass is black, the best looking version of it. It's matte black with a satin touch, accurately called the Phantom Black. The glass melts into the chassis, and the chassis, in a very distinct, unique way, melts into the camera bump. And this is for the first time where a phone is basically embracing the camera bump. It's not treating it as something like, it's there, we can't do anything about it, but it's owning up to it, which is a good step ahead. This design gives an identity to this phone, makes it amazingly unique and something which is instantly recognizable. And the display on the front with the minimal punch hole camera melts into the chassis with the most acceptable amount of curvature in the display. The amount which won't result in accidental touches. So the glass sandwiching the chassis here is the Gorilla Glass Victus. The name sounds good, and as for the one careless drop I had with the phone survives scratchlessly. So I guess the glass also lives up to this great sounding name. And as you can see from the time I've spent just talking about the design of the phone, I really am a fan of it. The color is amazing. The design, the shape, the style, the unique identity, the embracing of the camera bump, I love it all. And I think Samsung has nailed it for the design of the S21 Ultra. So the impressively embraced camera bump, which I've not really spent time talking about that much, it houses a bunch of lenses. You can even hear one of them when I shake this phone. But yeah, I don't think it's something to worry about. It's just the periscope lens making the noise. Nothing to worry about. Nothing is damaged inside the phone. So if you hear it, don't worry about it. It's all okay. So yeah, the bunch of lenses consists of 4 lenses. The standard wide, the ultra wide, the 3x telephoto zoom, and a 10x periscope zoom lens. The standard wide takes the sharpest images. 108 megapixels has to do that. This phone does it without the focusing issues faced by the Note 20 Ultra or the S20 Ultra. The colors in typical Samsung fashion are punchy and saturated. The dynamic range is excellent. The ultra wide is impressive. The sharpness and the dynamic range do go down a notch, but still remain. Enough to give good looking pictures, if not excellent. The same exists for the 3x telephoto lens. What needs a lot of light is the 10x periscope lens. It can easily lose details and introduce noise if the light is less, but it remains great outdoors where you mostly will be using the lens. The low light performance is great due to the night mode being available for all of the lenses. My only gripe that remains from the previous phones is the shutter lag, which sadly is very prevalent. And the front camera provides a very great and a much needed feature which was never there on the other phones. Now you get to choose whether you want your pictures to look natural or brighter than they are. Since by default Samsung earlier used to always go for the brighter pictures, which did not impress most people including me because it was not really realistic. And the videos made on the phone look good too. We have a wide variety of options for frame rate and resolution. The stabilization is impressive. You can also record HDR10 10-bit footage up to 4K at 30 FPS. And we do have a pro mode for video along with a mode that's called the director's view, which enables the user to see what each and every lens is recording in real time and accordingly switch to where he pleases. So the cameras, as good as they look physically, perform just as well, and they left me impressed. But the only gripe that I still have is the shutter lag, which I would love for Samsung to fix. So that's pretty much the one single black dot I could find on the white canvas. Or going by the theme of the phone, tiny little scratch on one matte black surface. And underneath the surface, Samsung sells this phone with two different processors. The one I have in my hand has the Exynos 2100. And when I heard about it, I was pretty disappointed because of the fact that Exynos has not really performed well when you compare it to the Snapdragon version. And underneath the surface, this phone comes with two different processors. And the one in my hand has the Exynos 2100 inside it. Both the Note 20 Ultra and the S20 Ultra did not perform that well with the Exynos processor inside them. And I was pretty dissatisfied with the performance I got out of the Note 20 Ultra when I reviewed it last year. Because of that, these phones really were not worth it, the expensive price that Samsung was asking for initially. But I'm glad to tell you the S21 Ultra with the Exynos 2100 inside it has impressed me so far. We have a phone which performs extremely well. No hiccups, no slowdowns, no nonsense. The phone has always remained smooth. The earlier complicated software has been further simplified and smoothened out on the rough edges. And the transitions, animations and multitasking are all zippy and all really smooth. And the other thing that was less than perfect the last time out and has been absolutely perfect and on point this time is the display. Samsung has always spoiled us with the most amazing display on their flagship phones. S21 Ultra also has an amazingly beautiful display. It is as always sharp, yet especially bright enough to see the punchy colors even in the harsh outdoor sun. And now we finally have Quad HD resolution with a variable 120Hz refresh rate, making this display a perfect one. Pretty much better than all the other smartphones. And the display, the performance, everything is powered by a big battery. I have been usually getting a day's worth of use out of the phone. That's with the Quad HD resolution and 120Hz refresh rate. And I can get a day and a half worth of use out of a single charge with the screen resolution set at Full HD with the refresh rate remaining the same. So the Exynos version this time around has been nothing crazy for me, but good, impressive, consistent and really reliable. And talking about consistency and reliability, the fingerprint scanner has been both of those. And it's also lightning quick, all due to the increased size of the sensor. And while the size has been increased in one department, it has been reduced on the other department. Specifically when it comes to the packaging of the phone. The box of the phone is much smaller because there are no earphones inside it. There is no charger inside it, just the USB-C to USB-C cable. And it's all done in the name of saving environment, which is a bunch of if you ask me. And you make fun of someone else and do the exact same thing a few months later. While Samsung has been quiet in trying to slide that under the bed, what's not quiet are the speakers on this phone. The speakers are really loud and sound really good even at the highest volumes. Impressive. So to close it out and to answer the question that I asked at the starting of this video, it does. The S21 Ultra goes big and ambitious with its numbers like its predecessors and also delivers an experience that honors those numbers unlike its predecessors. The experience is pleasant and impressive while also giving you consistency and reliability. The journey of the Ultra has been an uphill one, and if it's not on the top, it's very close to it. It has improved on the things that it was already good at while removing the shortcomings that it had before, at least most of them. And through that, it has been able to get itself a recommendation from most viewers, including me. So the S21 Ultra is a close to perfect smartphone. Get it. That covers everything. If I've left anything, comment about it. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you loved it, share the video with the people who might need it. Help them, help me. Be the awesome person. I'll talk to you real soon in the next one.